I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. RX Muscle Television on rxmuscle.com. This is Midday Muscle, better known as Midday Muscle. I'm your host, Tyler, as we dive into the latest bodybuilding news brought to you by our writer, Corey. If you ever need an extra kick in the ass to get yourself up out of bed on a Friday, this is your lucky day, because it's damn near impossible for you not to feel motivated after you watch this from defending Olympia champ Hadi Hollingshead getting after it in the gym with James Hollingshead, and knows he's an absolute savage in his own right. This footage from Hadi and James started circulating earlier this week, and even just watching it from the other side of the screen, you can almost feel the intensity that these two pour into every set as they sweated it out. If you've been watching this show long enough, then you already know that Dave is a huge believer in surrounding yourself with people who bring out the best of you. And if this is going to become a regular thing between these two, then it's going to be a tough run for everyone else who's trying to play catch up to Hadi as he gears up for another title defense. We've also got another update for you today from Vlad Sirocco. And I think at this point, all of his fans are starting to ask the same question, which is, are we going to see him on stage in Spain at the Impro Classic in 2 weeks? It's quite crazy to think that this kid is only 26 years old, because he's carrying as much size as anyone in bodybuilding. And the quality of his muscle is right up there with guys who have decades plus of experience on him. Now, as far as we know, his camp still has yet to make any official decision about whether or not he's taking his talents to Spain. But if you just look at where he is with his conditioning, it's hard to imagine that he wouldn't be hopping on stage at some point in the very near future. I mean, what other reason could there be for him to walk around this shredded? So if he can show up in Spain and come in hot right out of the gates, there's a good chance that he can give Michael Crizzo all he can handle while these two battle it out for the qualification that's up for grabs. Now we want to throw out one more name for your dark horse watch list for this upcoming M Pro. The stuff we're seeing from Andrea Presti over the last few weeks has been pretty damn impressive. Granted, he might not carry as much muscle as guys like Crizzo and Vlad, but you can say the same thing about 99% of the guys in open bodybuilding. And from the waist up, Andrea is going to be right up there with anyone else who ends up on the final roster. Trying to come in bigger and out-muscle people isn't going to be his path to the winner's circle here. But if he beats them in the conditioning department and doesn't come in too flat, he definitely has a puncher's chance to upset the balance of power right here. And sticking with this M-Pro theme, it's probably also worth noting that Roman Fritz will be making his season debut here. And if we learned anything about Roman over the course of his career, it's that he has a tendency to be at his best earlier on in his contest season. In his last check-in, Roman's conditioning looked like it was spot on, which is pretty much always the case for him. So, when you consider his track record and the fact that winning the conditioning game could be a huge factor competing against some of these mass monsters, there's definitely a path for him to play the role of spoiler and secure a top 5 spot here, which means that you can't rule out the possibility of him also being another dark horse contender. And that will do it for yet another Midday Muscle. Why don't I just leave you with the words of wisdom from Chewbacca?